In the quiet glow of thousands of softly lit white roses, the Princess of Wales marked a profoundly personal moment ahead of Christmas. It was a scene far removed from the flashing cameras and busy schedules we usually associate with the royal family. Not with speeches, not with formal press releases, but with reflection, remembrance, and gratitude. Catherine made an unannounced private visit to the Ever After Garden. This poignant installation was created to raise vital funds for the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, the very hospital where she herself received life-saving treatment during her most difficult days. The visit, carried out away from public fanfare, spoke volumes about how deeply this cause now sits at the center of her heart. The princess, who revealed her cancer diagnosis to the world in March 2024, has spent much of the past year navigating one of the most challenging periods of her life. Her appearance at the Ever After Garden was not only symbolic, but deeply human. It was a moment of quiet solidarity with patients, families, clinicians, and all those whose lives have been touched by this devastating disease. The installation, set within the historic Duke of York Square, transforms the space with more than 30,000 illuminated white roses. First launched in 2019 by designer Dame Anya Heinmark alongside fashion writer Camilla Morton, the garden allows visitors to dedicate a rose to a loved one. It is a powerful act of remembrance and hope, turning a cold December night into a landscape of warmth and shared memory. Among the thousands of tributes swaying gently in the winter breeze, Catherine added her own handwritten message. The message she chose was simple, restrained, and heartbreaking in its clarity. It read, "In loving memory of all those who have lost their lives to cancer." Those few words carried the weight of lived experience. They were not just the words of a princess, but of a woman who has walked the frightening path of diagnosis and treatment herself. After being given a private tour of the installation, the princess later shared a further message on social media, offering thanks to all who had contributed to the project and its mission. She wrote, "Every flower, every light, is a memory held together, an illumination of shared love, remembrance, and hope." Signing off simply with the initial C. It was a deeply personal touch that resonated with millions around the world. The timing of Catherine's visit was especially poignant. It came just days after King Charles shared his own deeply personal update about his ongoing cancer treatment, revealing that his care could now be scaled back, a positive sign that the public desperately needed. In his message, the king urged the public to prioritize early detection and cancer screenings, reinforcing a rare moment of openness from the royal family around a subject that affects millions. For Catherine, the Royal Marsden holds particular significance. In January, the princess confirmed that she had undergone chemotherapy treatment at the London hospital. Since then, she and Prince William have continued their long-standing role as joint patrons of the Royal Marsden, a commitment that has taken on renewed meaning following her diagnosis. The hospital is no longer just a patronage. It is a place that understands her journey intimately. While the visit was private, Catherine's appearance did not go unnoticed by fashion observers, who often look to her wardrobe for subtle messages. She chose a tailored, double-breasted green tartan coat by Holland Cooper. It was elegant, understated, and seasonally fitting, blending perfectly with the winter atmosphere. Yet it was her jewelry that drew the most quiet attention and speculation. The princess wore crystal daisy earrings by Butler and Wilson, making a subtle debut of a new piece from her jewelry collection. The choice was anything accidental. The daisy is a flower long associated with innocence, resilience, and most importantly, new beginnings. By wearing this symbol, Catherine was perhaps sending a silent message of her own renewal and hope for the future. Catherine has worn Butler and Wilson designs before, dating back to her time as the Duchess of Cambridge, and the brand's heritage made the choice especially meaningful for an event centered on remembrance and hope. But behind the poise, the tartan coat, and the sparkling earrings lies a journey marked by immense challenge. When Catherine announced her diagnosis in March 2024, it followed weeks of intense speculation and invasive public scrutiny that shocked the world. She subsequently withdrew from public life to focus entirely on her treatment, a 9-month period she later described as incredibly tough, both physically and emotionally, for herself and her family. We must remember that she was not just fighting for her health, but trying to protect her young children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, from the fear that comes with such news. Yet, as the months passed, signs of recovery quietly emerged. In June, the princess made a carefully measured return to public duties at Trooping the Color. The sight of her in the carriage waving to the crowds despite the rain was a moment of national relief. This was followed by an appearance at the Wimbledon finals, where she received a standing ovation, moments that reassured the nation while underscoring her determination to return to the life she loves. September brought the wonderful confirmation that she had completed chemotherapy. The autumn months that followed saw Catherine undertake a series of deeply personal engagements, each reflecting empathy forged through experience. In October, she visited Southport to meet families affected by the tragic knife attacks earlier in the summer. Later that month, she shared an emotional embrace with teenage photographer Liz Hatton, a fellow cancer patient. The two bonded over their health journeys, and Liz's mother later spoke movingly about the compassion shown by both the prince and princess in the final weeks of her daughter's life. December marked another major milestone. At Westminster Abbey, Catherine hosted the Together at Christmas Carol service, her fourth time organizing the event, and one widely seen as a symbolic return to tradition. Supported by her family and greeted with warmth by the public, the evening underscored just how deeply she is cherished. Now, 1 year further along the road to recovery, life for the Princess of Wales is understood to have largely returned to normal. But moments like her visit to the Ever After garden reveal that cancer has irrevocably shaped her outlook. It has deepened her empathy, sharpened her purpose, and strengthened her resolve to use her platform for good. As Christmas approaches, Catherine's quiet act of remembrance stands as a powerful reminder to us all. Beyond the titles, beyond the tradition, there is a woman who understands loss, survival, and hope, and who continues to stand beside those still fighting. Her light, much like the roses in the garden, continues to shine through the darkness.